Hi, I'm Brian Johnson. Hello, all my friends from the Middle East. I found myself, more or less, I hit a huge wall. I had a nervous breakdown, and I had no other option but God. I was on meds from the doctors, and God became real because I was pressed so hard down into a point of despair and depression and anxiety. I couldn't function. I had to quit work. I had to quit basically being a dad even. My mind was mush. And I remember sitting out on a log one day out on my property and more or less begging God to intervene, to do something, because I didn't want my end to be, who knows what my end would have been. And like the woman in Luke 7:47 that was laying out at Jesus' feet, she was so desperate, and all the religious leaders were looking at her and saying, how could this woman be acting like this? How could she be a mess laying out on the floor, kissing your feet? And Jesus said, no, you don't understand. This woman loves much because what she's been through, she's been forgiven of much. And I remember a moment in my life I came to where I had no other option but God. And it is the most terrifying place to be in life, but it's also the best place to be in life, because it is in that moment that God becomes real on a whole new level. And it's a moment of realness where no one can talk me out of it. A lot of times we want an instant thing. We want an instant resolve, an instant healing. And sometimes, for whatever reason, God allows things to happen to us in our life, not to lower our faith, but for us to get, muscles in faith and to grow our faith. And so for me, like when I was even as a kid going through this over and over and over, instead of asking the question, why me, God? I think the reality is when we go through things in life over and over and it feels never ending, when we overcome those things, day to day, we keep walking forward, we gain an authority from heaven, from God himself. We gain an authority. It's a power that he puts in us to be able to conquer those things that we've conquered, and also reach out and help others. Our life is about conquering things and then reaching down and helping others do the same. And so if you're going through something right now that feels like it's never ending and endless, God just might be training you for battle. He might be growing you up in the Spirit and giving you an authority to help others. Well, I just want to pray over anyone who's watching this from the Middle East right now. I bless you. And so Jesus, I just pray for the courage to follow in the footsteps of Jesus in the Middle East, with all the darkness and all the heartache and the hardships that people are experiencing in the Middle East, that you would give them the grace and the hope that they need to make it through, and the authority, God, that comes with that, the authority to speak into the wind, the authority to speak into the storm and see the miracles happen. And so we pray right now for the Middle East, Lord. Amen.